Is it not symmetrical enough? Should I make it?
I think we're there. I think we have to come this way.
Is that good?
I think so. I can't really
can't
see. Welcome to Upper Valley Access,
Your monthly video magazine. This month, staff producer Brianna filmed a concert by the Upper Valley Band. They were honoring longtime director Carol Blake. So stay tuned for the video. It's called Thanks for the Memories.
And this month, VT Digger hosted a panelist discussion along with DHMC and Blue Cross Blue Shield regarding the opiate crisis in Vermont. And there was a lot of really good information that'll help you stay updated. Coming up this June is the Law Enforcement Torch Run. You can hear all about it from one of our local athletes, Bo, who participates in the Special Olympics this year.
My name is Bo Heron. I'm with the Special Olympics Upper Valley Hawks team, and we have a fundraiser for Special Olympics Vermont on Law Enforcement Torch Run that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning on June 2nd. The three routes are for the running is the Gateway Motors all the way to the Municipal Building. The bicycle route is from Dothan School all the way to the Municipal Building, and the walking is from the Municipal Building all the way to downtown Waverly Junction and back to the Municipal Building. So join me, Bo Heron, and the rest of the Upper Valley Hawks team, including the police and all the torch runners, as well as join the torch run.
Last year, when Becky and Cindy, our directors, first started planning for this concert, they had the idea of band member favorites. It would be a concert of our favorite pieces we have performed over the last 20 years or so. Sadly, shortly after starting to prepare for the concert, our previous longtime conductor and director emeritus, Carol Blake, passed away on March 18th. Becky and Carol knew immediately that we needed to remember Carol in some way at this concert. They decided to keep the first half as our band member favorites. The second half of the concert will be some of Carol's favorites. We hope you enjoy the concert as much as we have enjoyed putting it together.
My family was very fortunate to have moved to 144 Worcester Avenue because our neighbor was the best neighbor you could ever have. Carol Blake was a unique person who liked to live a certain way. Let's just call it the Carol way. I hope some of these small stories capture a bit about who Carol was. I'm sure they'll ring true to many of your experiences with her as well. Carol can be described as the most generous, frugal Yankee I have ever known. One day she insisted I go with her to cash in on her Price Chopper gas discount vouchers. We filled her Subaru, her vintage 5-gallon cask can, and even her ride-on mower, all for a grand total of $3.37. We had pretty much tapped out her reserve capacity on site, and for the remainder of the summer and into the winter, she pleaded with me to consume all the gas I could pull down the supply. I was concerned we might topple OPEC.
When I posed this to Sarah, I really didn't know how the band would react, but I just did not feel that, even though we're religious, we did the church thing when we were growing up, and Carol's true love was the band. And so I was so thrilled when she said that would be awesome. And all they said is, do you know any of her favorite numbers? And I can remember we were riding, my husband and I were riding with Carol one day, and Tom said, Carol, don't you ever listen to the radio? She says, no, I don't like music. I kind of looked at her and I went, are you serious? And she said, yes. She said, said, I don't like to listen to it, I like to direct it. I said, well, I know that. And I said, you're very good at it. And I said, you're also very good at directing me.
I'm here tonight to chat very briefly about the life of a local Lebanon girl. Although her family lived in Woodstock, Vermont at the time of her birth, they relocated to Lebanon and she entered school here. She graduated from Lebanon High School and entered college to pursue a degree in music education. The rest of her story we celebrate tonight. When not playing, conducting, working with music, she had a lot of other interests and hobbies. She was a limo driver, picking up celebrities in Boston for round trips to Hanover. She was a ski instructor at Snowcrest Ski Area, which is now Whaleback. She had a passion for church dinners, especially turkey at the Methodist Church in White River and roast beef at the church in Hardin. She was a good cook, and every morning, as Tim says, she had a homemade donut and a cup of coffee for breakfast. She never varied her breakfast menu. She loved her cats and was even able to teach several of them to stand up and roll over on vocal commands. I never knew how anybody could teach a cat to do that, but Carol did.
At last night's rehearsal, when Carol's sister June was speaking with us, a member of the band spoke up and said that nobody really knew how much Carol did to keep this band vital and vibrant until she was no longer doing it. And it took us many people to find ways to do what Carol had done as one person. It was just finally a glimpse up to her commitment and compassion for the band and for its members as well. The band can never be again what it was under her direction.
Now, aside from the obvious implications, Thanks for the Memories was really one of Carol's favorites. Back when Carol was moving into was in the process of purchasing her home in White River Junction, she took on a second job. She became a chauffeur. She loved that job, and she really was quite a skillful driver, so skillful that she was given a number of plum assignments. She transported many notable people all around the state, and specifically to and from this opera house. Her favorites, however, were Bob and Dolores Hope. If you entered Carol's living room, the first thing that you would see were not the accolades, awards, diplomas, but a photo of Bob and Dolores Hope posed with Carol in full chauffeur regalia. So Carol, this is for you, and thanks for the memories.
So let me introduce you to who we're going to be hearing from tonight. Dr. Mark McGovern is a professor of psychiatry, of community and family medicine, and of the Dartmouth Institute of Health Policy and Clinical Practice at the Geisel School of Medicine at Dartmouth. Bess O'Brien, who's sitting right here, is a filmmaker.
Does, in a way, is humanize us all, because I mean, it's not like you're looking at these people and you're going, oh my God, they're so weird, they're from another planet. It's like, I can relate to that. You know, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, I feel alone sometimes. We're all looking for love, we're all looking for something that's larger than ourselves, we're looking for something that makes us feel self-esteem in our lives. And one of the most poignant moments in the film is Fred, this pediatrician, turns to a patient and he says, you know, I figured out the other day that I'm not treating addiction, I'm treating self-esteem. And it's like, to me, that's really the bottom line. The last thing I'll simply say is that there's a wonderful guy, Gabriel Maté. I don't know if you've read his books. He's a Canadian psychologist and doctor, and I heard him lecture at a conference I was at, and you know, he really talks about the fact that I wish we didn't call people addicts. I wish what we said is these are people who are dealing with emotional pain and trying to soothe it with some sort of chemical.
And that can happen within an instant. So one of the things for me. I know something resonated with me when you said who do people blame? For me, it was anybody who told me I was an addict. You know, therapists. I tried to get a lot of help before I even got sober. They called me a junkie. And I'm not a physical person, but I can get physical. My people that I surrounded myself with, yes, they were my drug dealers, but they, even at the end of my use, had to cut me off. And my drug dealer actually recommended me to the rehab that I went to. So we have hearts, and we do care. We may not care much about ourselves, but we care about other people. And I can say that as a whole, because I'm pretty sure I have one of the biggest hearts that I've ever seen. And yes, it is hungry. And for right now, I switched. I went from being hungry to cover up that pain, no matter what it was, whether it was emotional, physical, doesn't matter, mental, to a hunger to feel amazing with getting help.
Every person presenting for services is presenting with something totally different than the first person coming up. Somebody may need MAT. Somebody may have really strong feelings against MAT. Somebody may need residential. Somebody may need just an individual therapist. And I think that we need to have many different avenues for these people coming through the door. We need to be able to provide many different modalities of treatment to meet their individual needs. And if we don't have that available in-house, we need, it's our job as treatment providers to find that for them. So having those different avenues, having the different modalities, and having the connections within the community and with the other providers to make those seamless transitions is so important for the overall care for these people.
The other thing that often comes up with pain medications, and I have a colleague in pain medicine, David Dent, who's at DH, many of you might know David, will say that I actually don't want to treat the pain as much as I want to treat the person's quality of life. If they're pain-free but still on the couch and not working, are they actually better? So his approach is functioning. So what am I doing to help the patient function? And I think people that treat addiction think the same way, or they should think the same way. What am I doing with this medication to help a person function, not just to not use another substance?
Is there a cookie cutter approach to just sort of ratchet people off of these drugs? Is it the same thing for everybody?
No, everybody has their own paper.
My doctor asked me, what was the worst thing he did to you? I don't know. How do you answer a question like that? How could I decide? Was it the sexual things he did? Was it when he killed my dog? The lying? The mind games? How he would put a bullet under my pillow? The betrayal? How he undermined me with friends and family? How the violence and craziness impacted my son? Saying I stole his guns? And that I was the one that was crazy, not him. How he would grab me and shove me against the wall. How he made it impossible for me to take care of the basic things I needed for my horses. That he manipulated the attorneys. That he made me think it was me. Not having any food. He took everything away from me. Made sure I didn't have any friends or family to help. We had a house, we had everything. He had it all figured out. And part of the abuse was the system. You get abused all over again by attorneys, courts, people who are supposed to help. How do I live without empathy? How could my doctor ask me what was the worst?
he didn't get it.
My reality is that pain comes not only from rapists, but also from the legal system. To me, it's not a justice system because it's far from just. I've learned to heal, trust, and hope again with help from a precious few, but for me, sexual assault hasn't been just a violation from one. It's been a violation from an entire community.
So why did you want to be a cop? I asked him. He replied, a simple question was asked me at the end of a 16-week police academy class that brings up so many emotions and memories. I'm not ashamed of my reason for choosing this path in life. That one vivid night when my father was beating my mom rests in the forethought of my mind daily. The screams from my mom as she was being beat by a cowardly man left me feeling helpless. What could I do? I was so young, and he was my father, the protector of our family. At this point, there had been several years of this happening, and my desire to help my mom and my family grew with each incident. My mom eventually escaped and ran down the hallway and was pushed through my door. She handed me the phone as he came in yelling, and she told me to call for help. I did. The consequences for my father were quick and fierce, but the police came. That feeling of security was amazing, and we all finally got a good night's sleep. It's that moment that made me want to become a police officer. What I'd like for those going through or who have endured domestic violence to know is that our abusers have not defined us. They make us stronger because we survived. My father taught me a lesson, the best lesson most children won't get, which is what not to be as a person.
In 2010, the state of Vermont passed a legislative mandate requiring that every police officer receive annual training in domestic violence. This was largely due to the domestic violence advocate community. I was shipped off for a week to receive my instructor certification, and I was surprised to see that there were several domestic violence advocates in attendance, including the organization WISE. I found myself speaking with the advocates on breaks, eating lunch with some of them. You know, I'd always believed that DV advocates were somehow contemptuous of police. I actually found the opposite to be true. They were very nice, caring people who realized that if we were going to win the war on violence, there needed to be a responsible partnership with the police.
I'm getting over this a little more every day. I never understood the shame in abuse until it happened to me. Over 4 years before the breakup was the end of the happy days and the beginning of my torment. Each day I looked in the mirror and begged myself to leave him, to have the strength to start a new life. Just a little longer, I'd say. Just hold on. Now I know that any time we betray that inner voice, we pay for it several times over. My mind has been in a fog for so long. I didn't put the pieces together until now as I'm looking back. All the sick games he played, and all the times I was forced to do things I didn't want to do. Constantly put under pressure to get him off sexually. All the times he told me I was ugly and worthless and pushed me right in front of my boys. When he stepped his foot on my head and shoved my face into the floor, I knew I'd had enough. I had to get away. All of my muscles are still tight from the trauma, but at least the cycle has broken, and there's more reason to have faith in the universe. I'm getting over this a little bit more every day. I guess I should focus on being grateful for now. Grateful to WISE for showing me the way out of the downward spiral. The lady on the other end of the domestic abuse hotline that wept at my story and let me know that the abuse was not imaginary. Who believed me. Grateful for my family for providing the support and an exit plan. Grateful for my son for keeping quiet when he saw mom cry on the phone during those crucial hours of the escape plan. Grateful for law enforcement for all their help when I was shattered and torn. Grateful to God for giving some extra time. Most importantly, I am grateful for a chance to provide a supportive environment for my 2 young boys who deserve a better life and to grow up to be men that can love.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Through my right song.
Thanks for joining us on Upper Valley Access. Be sure to come visit us at the block party on June 2nd in Lyman Point Park. We'll be there with a bunch of other nonprofits. There's free food, music,
a lot of fun. And also there we'll be distributing a community survey because we're interested about what you think, how we're doing, what you hope that we will do moving forward. We would love your feedback and input. The survey is found on the homepage of our website. Also, if you want to come into the office and say hi to us, you can always pick up a paper copy there. To incentivize you all to complete the survey, you have this opportunity to be entered into a drawing to win a free dinner in the Upper Valley. So at Upper Valley Restaurant. So we hope that you take us up on our offer and fill out our surveys, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the block party. Anything else? I think that's it. Okay.
Меня спросили, что ты делал 10 лет назад. Учился. Меня спросили, что ты делал 5 лет назад. Учился. Меня спросили, что ты делаешь сейчас. Учусь. Меня спросили, что ты делал 2 года назад. Учился. Жизнь бесконечна и круглая, как пончик. Кому-то дырка, а я не спешу ее закончить. Я не спешу ее закончить. Меня спросили, что ты делал 10 лет назад. Учусь. Меня спросили, что ты будешь делать через 5 лет. Учиться. Меня спросили, что ты будешь делать...